Hi everyone, welcome to my January reading vlog, and in this video I'm going to be doing 200 pages per day as a challenge to myself to help get through my January TBR. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do this challenge, so I thought it'd be a good one to do for myself since my January TBR, if you saw my last video, it is hefty. I put 10 books on that TBR and a lot of them are like fantasy, so they're long. So to help me get through a lot of those, I decided 200 pages a day would be a good way to start off the month. I'll be doing this challenge for 7 days. So that's 1,400 pages in a week. And so to start, book number 1 is going to be Brimstone by Callie Hart because I've already started it. I'm 56 pages in. I'm on chapter 4, so not that far at all because this is like 650 pages. So this one book will take me like the first 3 days to get through. But when I'm done, I will feel accomplished so much because this is huge. And I also just read Quicksilver, so I am really excited to get into this one. And then I don't have my TBR down here on the floor with me. If you can see, I'm like looking over at it. I'm like looking at it and it's intimidating me. But I actually don't know what I'm going to read after this one, so I'm kind of just like going with the flow, seeing what I want to read here. But yeah, thoughts so far on Brimstone. It's really good. I really don't know that much yet. I'm kind of just going with the flow, seeing how this is going to go. So far, so good. I am really liking it. I'm only 50 pages in, so I really don't have many things to say. But I'm predicting I'm going to rate this probably like a 4-star read for me. Also, I do want to say in my last video that like I didn't really like the mates part of this because it's my first time reading it, but it's growing on me. It's growing on me. It's like soulmates. I kind of like it now. So yeah, that's good. But I don't really have any plans for the rest of the week. I'm going to go get my nails done tomorrow morning. That's about all I have besides just work a few days a week that I have going on. So I thought this would be a good week. Because it's also, I'm still on like Christmas break from school. I'm in college right now. So I go back to school in about, I think in almost like exactly a week, something like that. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get my nails done. They look whack right now. I have one on my thumb because I can't get it off. Like I pried the rest of them off my hands, but I can't get this one. So anyway, yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I've read my 200 pages, which by the way, I estimated, I think it's going to take me like 5 hours because Brimstone, like the pages are also just like wider and a little bit higher in length. So my like average time is usually 50 pages per hour. But with Quicksilver, my average was 40 pages per hour. So I think it's going to take me like 5 hours total at least to read 200 pages in Brimstone. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I have updates, probably later tonight. Bye-bye. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to day 1 of this challenge. I filmed the first clip that you all watched yesterday, and I didn't have any time for reading yesterday, so this challenge is actually starting today, which is a Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. We're starting this challenge on a Wednesday, middle of the week. And yesterday I was 57 pages into Brimstone, and now I am 234 pages into Brimstone. So I'm on chapter 19, which means I have read 177 out of the 200 page goal. So I literally only have like 23 pages left to read, but I'm filming this clip now just because I'm fixing to leave my house here in a minute. And I won't be coming home to film more. But so far my thoughts on Brimstone being 200 pages in, like 1/3 of the way there. It's really good. It's picking up right where we left off in Quicksilver. I don't want to spoil anything about that one, but basically they are still in the middle of the war that's happening and they're trying to tackle this new obstacle in their way, and so they're kind of at this moment like split apart. They're in different realms and they're dealing with like their own different problems, but I think very quickly, like probably in the next 20 pages, they're gonna be reunited. So they've only been apart for like 100 pages. It's not that bad. But it is very interesting watching them like tackle all these problems that they're facing. We're meeting new people. We're figuring out more. I feel like every page I read in this series, I'm like learning more about the world. So it's a very complex world. Like the first book dealt a lot with like fae and alchemists, and in this one we're definitely getting a lot more on the vampire side and stuff like that. So we're meeting all these new people, learning about I think it's how you say it is Amontreath, the realm that Ceres is now in, and it's really good so far. So far, I think I'm gonna give it a 4-star, maybe a 4.5. I think I ended Quicksilver with a 4.5. This one's probably gonna be something very similar because it's not my favorite, but it is really good. And yeah, I will get back to you guys tomorrow though once I have read another 200 pages, and at that point I should be pretty far through the book, so I'll definitely have more to share, I'm sure. I'm back and it's now day 2. Actually, technically, it's day 3. Let me explain what's going on to you here. I have Brimstone here. I'm majority of the way through it. I have completed another 200 pages for day 2, so that is done. My thoughts as of right now is really good. We're just now getting to like the whole like Brimstone, figuring out how we're gonna defeat and how we're gonna handle these different situations, but there's still definitely quite a lot to wrap up, hence why this is book number 2, not book number 3. This book is so gonna leave on a huge cliffhanger that is gonna make me sad, and I don't even know when the 3rd book is coming out. I don't think it has a title. I don't think it has a release date yet at all. So it's gonna be a hot minute before the series is over. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm on page 462, chapter 38. So only 200 more pages to go, which brings me to day 3. Technically, today is day 3. I read all my 200 pages yesterday, but I didn't get to film. I was really tired and I didn't finish my page count until late. So I was like, you know what, I'll just film it tomorrow. And today I had work. If you don't know, I work at a coffee shop and my shift was 4:30 a.m. till noon. So as you can probably tell, I'm exhausted right now. It's like 4 p.m. So my shift's been over for like 4 hours, but I came home from work around like noon and I've been trying to nap. Cannot do it. I've also got 2 dogs, so I feel like I've had maybe a bit too much caffeine today, and then I struggle to sleep when it's light outside. So I tried to take like a horrible nap. It didn't really work, and now I think I'm just gonna stay up. We're gonna be up until it's bedtime. My normal bedtime's like midnight, and I do have 200 pages to read today. Do I think I will get to 200 pages today? No. This might be the first fail of the challenge, which I kind of knew was coming. Like 200 pages a day is difficult. So if I don't read all 200 pages today, whatever I didn't get to will carry over into tomorrow, which I do think I could do. Tomorrow I work again, but it's like middle of the day, so I believe I can do it. Fingers crossed I can read it all tonight, but probably not. I probably won't give another update till tomorrow, but we will see. I will be finishing this book one way or another tonight or tomorrow morning. And I will get back to you guys when I have more updates with that. Hey everybody, it's probably, I think it's day 4. Yeah, it's day 4 of my reading 200 pages per day challenge. And I believe yesterday when I talked to you guys about day 3, I said that I probably was not going to meet my 200 page goal. And that was in fact correct. I read half of that. I read 100 pages yesterday and then I promptly fell asleep and did not finish. So I'm still reading Brimstone. I've got 100 more pages to go, which I do plan to finish tonight. I need to play catch up. I need to read 300 pages today, which I again don't think I'm gonna meet, but I'm gonna try my best. And I'll let you guys know before midnight how far I get. but I had work again today, and it's currently like 7 p.m. So I don't think I'm definitely not gonna meet the goal again, but I'm gonna play catch up. I don't know if I showed you guys last time when I was filming, but my nails are now done. I got them done, so they're nice and cute. You probably saw in my last video or the beginning of this one that my nails were chopped. So I'm glad that I have new nails on. But yeah, there's 100 more pages. We're getting to the big final part here, final act. And it's very interesting. A lot of plot twists. There was a really big plot twist that happened with Anna Trieth and the vampires, which that threw me by surprise, I will say. Callie Harrett got me there. And then, let's see what else happened. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any really notes. Like, this story is just progressing really nicely. I love all the characters. They're all very funny. I'm going to be so sad when I finish this book because I did check to see if there were, like, any updates about book number 3 in this series. And it doesn't even have a title yet. It's untitled on Goodreads, but it does say that the release date is November 10th. I don't know how accurate that is, but I think Goodreads is usually pretty spot on, pretty accurate. So it'll be sometime this year, but right now as I'm filming, it's January, so we have quite a ways to go. And I'm afraid it's going to leave on a big plot twist, and I'm going to be so sad. But yeah, I'm just glad we haven't had any, like, third act breakups or anything like that. Like, it's a very strong couple pretty much from the get-go. Like, I was thinking about it last night when I was reading. They were kind of enemies. I don't want to say enemies to lovers, but they were maybe trying that trope out, like argumentative, playful, for the first half of book 1. And then from there on out, they were like lovers, like immediately in love, which makes sense for mates. Like, they're very much mated, very dedicated to each other, very, very loving throughout the whole thing, which I thought was so cute. Because there were certain parts in this book where they were like separated, you know, doing different things just on their own path. And I always loved the chapters where, like, they reconnected one way or another. And another thing is also how healthy this couple is. Like, I thought maybe reading book 1 that Quicksilver was going to be kind of maybe controlling, but I've been proven wrong. He is a great partner, and it's so healthy, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh, stop, this is so cute. But yeah, that's probably all I have to say. 100 more pages. We're going to see what's happening. Right now, they're facing the rot. If you know, you know. And, I'm scared, but we shall see. Hi everybody, welcome back. It's another day and I have finished Brimstone. Yay. Okay, so I read the last 100 pages of it pretty much this morning. As you know from yesterday, I am behind, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read all the stuff I missed from the day before and then my 200 pages for yesterday. I in fact did not do that, and I think it was day 4, so now I'm on day 5. I don't know if that's right or not. I'll have to like look back and check. But anyway, point being, I am severely behind. I think I need to read like 400 more pages today to be caught up. And I don't think I'm going to get that done, seeing as it's already noon and I have plans and I do have work throughout the week. So 400 pages in one day, probably not going to happen. So I'm going to extend this challenge another day because guess whose challenge this is? I make the rules. So yeah, instead of like 7 days, it's going to be 8, but over the course of 8 days, but still 7 days of reading, if that makes sense. Anyway, on to Brimstone though. I did just finish it. The last 100 pages were really good. Did shed a little tears. But all in all, the ending was not like bad. Once again, I keep being like, oh, I hope there's not like some horrible plot twist or like people die. But none of that really happens. There are kind of like small plot twists, but it's not big enough for me to be like, oh my gosh, like I need the next book. So as it stands right now, I am going to continue the series, but it's not my favorite. Like, I'm not dying to read the next book. So overall, I think I'm going to give it a 4-star. I really do love like Kingfisher and Ceres's romance. Totally great. And also the fantasy plotline, really well built, really well structured. Kudos to Callie Hart for that because her world building is immaculate. One thing though, I do have to say, this book was just so long. And maybe it's because I read both of books in this series, which were like 650 pages each. But it was really draining me. Like, I kept getting really tired. I kept kind of wanting to fall asleep. It was a really good story, but at parts, it just felt a little too long. Some of it was a little unnecessary. So I don't know. And then at other points, I kind of wish we got more like Kingfisher and Sarah's maybe like bonding. Because I think I said something about in my last clip where it went from them being like, I don't like you, annoyed with each other, to like mates being head over heels in love. So we never really got that like in between. We kind of did, but it was more like a sexual thing. It was no real like actual bonding. It felt like a 180 to me. I don't know if that's how it is for everyone else, but I wish we got more moments of them just like talking, laughing. But again, this is like right in the middle of the war, so I get it. But yeah, hopefully in book 3 we get more of that. I want to see them get married, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's totally gonna happen based off the things that happened in this book. I think they're gonna get married in the 3rd one, and I'm ready for that. But yeah, overall 4 stars. I'm glad I'm done with this. It was huge. I don't think I'm gonna pick up another book this thick for a second, at least. Which brings me to my next book. If you saw my January TBR, majority of the books on there were fantasy. I don't know what happened there, but I literally kept pulling fantasy. So there's only 2 books on the January TBR that were just like normal modern day romance, which were When in Rome and Collided. And also, if you watched that video, you would have seen my reaction to getting Collided on the TBRs. What is that? Oh, stop. Okay, it's Collided by Lauren Asher. So, of course, the next book is going to be Collided. I freaking loved Throttled, book 1 in the Dirty Air series. This is book 2, and it follows Sophie and Liam. And basically, Sophie has like this bucket list of like things she wants to do, and I think they're, you know, a little dirty. I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah, naughty bucket list items. So I think this one's gonna be interesting. I'm just here for it, honestly. I want something so like laid back, where I can just like, yeah. And that's how Throttled was for me too. And the romance in Throttled was so good. Like, it was very healthy, lots of communication, and it was very just like fluid. Like, it was great. So I have high expectations for Throttled. I'm hoping it's gonna be similar to that because I loved it. So yeah, I'm probably going to start this one today and hopefully get 200 pages through, which is like this far. Thankfully, if we compare it, it's significantly also smaller, just like the pages, the length. The length of this book is smaller and a little bit on the width too. So reading 200 pages should take me even less time than it did with Brimstone. Brimstone, I was reading like 40 pages per hour. But with books like this size, it's more like 50 pages per hour. But yeah, I right now am going to go hang out with some friends. We're going to go do some pottery, I think, paint some glasses. And then I'm going to come home after that and finish reading this. Okay, everyone, we back, and I have read 200 pages of Collided. So I think I'm about halfway through it. I'm on chapter 18 here. My thoughts so far, in the beginning, it's like a little bit corny, that first half. Almost giving like Sophie, she's not like other girl vibes when they're trying to describe her to us. Like, she only wears tees, she doesn't wear like heels like other girls, she puts her hair in pigtails. They once referred to her to having the body of like an 8-year-old. And last time I checked, 8-year-olds are not that big. And then Liam, our main guy, is like, of course, very tall. So I was like, okay, we're gonna disregard that comment. Like, I'm not gonna imagine her with the body of an 8-year-old because that's weird. But a lot of times they do refer to her being as like very, very short. So I guess she's pretty short, but not the body of an 8-year-old. Please, Lord Asher. Anyway, besides that, I'm finding it really fun, really easygoing, chill read. I am really enjoying it. As of right now, I'm pretty sure Sophie knows that like she likes him, but she doesn't want to do anything with him, have any sort of relationship with him because of like, one, bad press. Her dad will send her home if there's any bad press about her with any of the race car boys. It's kind of forbidden. And then 2, she's like, I'm gonna be with you like the whole like F1 racing season, so we're not gonna like do the dirty because that'll be awkward when we see each other every other day. So she's like, we're just friends. So she kind of puts him in the friend zone, and that's how it's been pretty much the whole time. They've been friends, getting along, but Liam is so flirtatious. He might be one of the like most flirtatious characters I've ever met. So he's flirting with her left and right, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I do find he's pretty smart, quick-witted, but Liam has some of his own problems in his life that kind of holds him back from ever wanting to like have a serious relationship. So he very much just wants to have like a little fling with Sophie, but obviously like they have like different wants here, so it's different. But anyway, Sophie has like this list of items that she wants to try to do, and Liam wants to help her. A lot of them are like dirty. I think I said that in my last clip. And so far we haven't done any of those, and we also really haven't seen any of the actual F1 racing. Where in Throttled, I feel like we got to like get inside Noah's head during a lot of the different races. But Liam, we're not getting that. Like, we're kind of skipping over the races to more so focus on Liam and Sophie's friendship, which isn't bad necessarily, but I wish we got a bit more racing. So right now, I'm thinking like probably a 4-star. It maybe a 4.5 if it gets any better, but I do really like the Sophie and Liam dynamic. It's different from Throttled, because with Throttled, it was just like pure, Noah was like yearning for Sophie, but Sophie's like, I don't do flings anymore. Like, that's not. So Sophie, or Maya, in the first book, Maya didn't do flings. I don't know if I just said her name or not. In Throttled, it was different because Maya wanted to have an actual relationship. She didn't want to do flings, kind of like Noah wanted to. And so it was a lot of like Noah yearning for her, when Maya was like, no, like, I do like you a lot, but we're not going to do like the whole one night thing. And so I really love yearning, if you can't tell. Like, yearning is one of my favorite things you can put in a book. And we got so much of that in Throttled that I loved it. And we're starting to get that a bit in Collided, but it's definitely not as much as it was in Throttled. So I don't know. Hopefully we get more yearning, because I love it. But yeah, I will get back to you guys tomorrow. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish the book, because there's like 240 pages left. So I think I'll just go ahead and read the other 40 pages tomorrow, and I'll get back to you guys when I've read that. I think this is day 4. Yes, this is day 4 completed. And we're back on day 5, and I have finished Collided. I read an extra like 40 pages today just to wrap this one up. And my overall rating for this book is going to be a 4.5. Because it was really good. It got better the more I read it. We did get more of like Liam and Sophie yearning, and we went from them being friends to friends with benefits, which was like a really rocky stage for them to be at, because I think at that point they did really like have actual feelings for each other, but Liam didn't want to be in a relationship, and Sophie just like knew that and understood that. But Sophie fell first, and she was like, he doesn't want to be in a relationship with me. And there was like this whole thing with McCoy, his racing team, and I found that in itself to be very interesting. And so I did really enjoy this. I enjoyed getting to see more races in the second half. Like the first half, we didn't get that much racing, but second half, we got a bit more. So I did like that. And then Lauren Asher, at the end of her books, she always does like a wrap up that shows like a few years in the future, and then a more few years into the future. And I love seeing this. And we ended up finding out more about Noah and Maya, and when they get older, because it goes to like, it ends, and then it does a little time jump, and then it does a large time jump. And the large one, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was really good, just so you know. So I did really like this one. I didn't like it as much as Throttled, but it definitely kept me very entertained. And it was a very nice break from like big fantasy books. Which brings me to my next point. Book number 3, the final book of this challenge. The Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I decided I'd do this one because it's like 350 pages. So counting like the 50 pages I read from this, tomorrow I'll only have to read like 150. And it should like almost be like flat even, me hitting my goal of 1,400 pages. So I'm going to read this one. I don't have much knowledge about what goes on in this one, like, at all. So I'll have to let you guys know tomorrow when I read more.
The next day.
Coming back with updates the next day, except it's already like 11:30 p.m. and I didn't feel like getting out of bed. So this clip is coming straight from my bed with updates from The Night in the Moth.
I'm currently like 150 pages into it, so it's about probably 35%, somewhere around there. I've loved this book so much. Like, this is probably going to be one of my top reads of 2026. It might be in my like overall favorites, top 5 to ever exist. I don't know how Rachel Gillig did this, but I'm in love. Like, I'm obsessed. Obsessed is an understatement, and I'm only 150 pages in. I don't even know what it is about it. Like, the vibes are just very different from everything else I've read. It's very original. We love some originality. It's like, I don't know. Basically, to give you a rundown on what the book is about, if you don't know about the Knight and the Moth, this girl is one of 6 diviners. Her name is literally 6. That's what she goes by. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other diviners, all named that. And she works in, I don't know if it's like a chapel, this place called Isling. There's all these different like omens and stuff. I'm trying to figure out how I want to describe this to her. Basically, she's a diviner and she gets drowned and she has these dreams where she prophesizes good or bad omens about the future depending on the way these items turn, if that makes any sense. I'm not good at explaining. But anyway, that's kind of like her job, what she does. And she does this with 5 other girls. And there's this lady who runs the whole little church called the Abbess. And here comes this like young king and a knight named Rory, and they come to have their divinations done. 6 and the other 5 diviners end up sneaking out one night with Rory and the king, and they just go out, have a night of fun. And when they come back, Rory gets his divination done by 6, and in this divination, 6 kind of foresees a moth. And a moth is one of the 6 symbols that's like really never seen before. And the moth depicts death. So she dreams and sees all of her fellow diviners or diviners from the past in pain, screaming. It's basically a very bad sign. And 6 doesn't really know what to make of that. But anyway, after she starts having that dream, one by one, the other diviners start disappearing. Choked. And so basically she recruits Rory kind of to her cause to help go find said diviners that have gone missing. And it's very mysterious because she asks the abbess, the lady in charge, for help, and the abbess is kind of like dismissing it, like, oh, they're just runaways. But we're like, they didn't run away. Like, their 10 years of service were almost up. They were about to be freed. Why would they all of a sudden run away? So it's very mysterious. It's very like Gothicana. There's talking gargoyles. I love our main little gargoyle. He's so cute, like a little pet. I love him. He's so funny. He calls everyone Bartholomew. And there's a lot of banter in here. You know, your girl loves some banter. And it's very like medieval times. Like the knight's wearing like actual metal shining armor. And she wears like, I think it's called a shroud around her eyes, so you can't see her eyes. I've been looking on Pinterest and I've seen a lot of fan art. I'm like, this is so like my vibe. Like, I love it. Which I've never read a book like it before, so this was very new for me. And I didn't know anything about this book going into it, so it was like a very pleasant surprise to find out how much I really like this book. Anyway, I'm only 150 pages in though, so we haven't gotten that far. Right now, 6 is out and about with Rory and the young king, and they're finding out more and more about Rory. There's a little bit of mystery there. You know, we thought he was just a basic knight, but now we're kind of getting a little bit more mystery. He's a little bit more intriguing. So I'm very interested in learning more about him because I do love him. Like, I love their banter and everything. And God, I don't even know how to describe it. I did find out it's a duology. I went on Goodreads and I low-key kind of spoiled it for myself. I'm very upset about that. It kind of sounds like it's raining outside, but I think it's just like a plane. Anyway, I kind of spoiled it for myself, so I'm very upset about that. But I did find out that is a duology. I'm trying to forget the spoilers. I'm trying really hard to forget them. The second book doesn't come out until like September of this year, though, so I have a while to wait. I'm going to be so sad when I finish this book because it's going to be so sad that I have to wait 8 months. Like, I'm going to die. But yeah, I have work tomorrow. My shift starts at 4:30 a.m. and I'm there till noon. So right now I'm currently trying to decide, like, do I want to try and get a few hours of sleep, or do I want to just pull an all-nighter and read, which I pull all-nighters kind of often. I'm like, I don't know. It would be a bad decision to pull an all-nighter, but I think I will anyway. I don't know if you can tell, but I already am, like, tired. But on the bright side, I work at a coffee shop. So when I get there, it's just chug down some espresso, I guess. I don't know. But I, like, low-key really don't want to put the book down. Like, I love this book. So I think I'm just going to pull an all-nighter. I got to take a shower at some point, so hopefully that'll wake me up a little bit. And it's already 11:30, so I'll just come home and crash when I get off work. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow. Rough. Anyway, I'm going to get back. I want to crack open this book again. I'll get back to you guys tomorrow whenever I have read another 200 pages. And hopefully I'll finish this book, actually. I should finish it, and then that'll be the end of this vlog, which, by the way, it feels like it's taking a long time. I don't feel like I've ever talked about, like, the whole 200 pages a day process. It's draining. I'm dying. Send help. It's okay, but thankfully this is a good way to, like, knock out some books really quickly, but it is low-key, like, draining the life force out of me. I probably will not do this challenge again for quite a while because it is hard to keep up with, especially now that I'm, like, in school and I have these, like, long shifts. And your girl requires sleep. Like, I love my bed. I hate getting out of bed, like everyone else on the planet. I hate getting out of bed. So I try to sleep for like 8 to 10 hours, which is a lot of sleep, I know. And I don't always get that, but I'm, like, cranky if I don't get all my sleep. So I feel like when I come home from work at noon, I will be asleep for a very long time. I'll wake up for a few hours and go back to sleep. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you guys when I have finished this book, which might be before work. I might talk to you guys again in a few hours when I finish this. Hi everyone, it's the next day and I have met my 200 page goal. Also, I have finished The Night and the Moth. Just a brief, debrief. I went to work this morning, came home, took like a 3-hour nap, and then got to reading. And I finished the 200 pages. I'm gonna rate this a 5-star. I'm not sure what I predicted rating it, but it's a 5-star. I've never read, like, a gothic romance like this before. Like, this was very original to me, very, like, nothing I've read before. And I loved it. Now I'm going to need to read Rachel Gillig's other series, which is, I think it's I know it's Two Twisted Crowns is the second book, but I think the first one's One Dark Window. I think I'm right. I have to wait till September to get book number 2, The Knave and the Moon. You're joking. This, at least it's a duology and not a trilogy, because I don't think I could handle it if I had to wait for book 2 and then wait for book 3. Because the way this book ended, like, I know I kind of spoiled it for myself, and I really did try to forget. Didn't work. A lot of it was very new, very original, so I was really enjoying the whole story, and I did kind of know how it was going to end, but there's quite a few plot twists that happen at the end. One of them I did not see coming. The other, I knew. But even when that one was playing out, I was still like, whoa, what is this? Like, it was kind of worse than I thought. But then at the same time, like, the ending was better. I was like, okay, like, I can kind of see how this is going to go in book 2. Like, it wasn't like, what's going to happen next? I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And it better be good. It's going to eat. Like, so I don't know. I'm still desperate for book number 2 right now, but I'm not, like, depressed like some other books I've had where it ended on a huge cliffhanger, didn't know what's going to happen, sent me spiraling for the next few months. So I have to wait till September. I'm still grappling with that. But yeah, that is the end of this vlog. I have met my goals, read 1,400 pages. It kind of kicked my butt, but glad I've done that, did it. It helped me get through quite a few books on my TBR. I had class yesterday, I think, and I went to the bookstore after, and I was, like, trying so hard not to buy books because I know I'm trying to get down, like,
I have all these right behind me. And so I need to focus on these. So I'm glad I knocked some off and did not, in fact, add on. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!